Hello, I'm Peter Vaughan, and today I'm at the Caravan and Motorhome Club's Southport site with the latest 2026 version of Landseer's Custom 2.0 campervan. Now, maybe you don't know the name Landseer. They're based in Preston, sell through a network of dealers around the UK, an expanding dealer network, and up until now they've built these small Ford pop tops on the previous generation and now of course on the new generation Ford Tourneo Custom. But this is exciting times at Landseer, because in October they'll be launching a conversion on the bigger Transit and also on the MAN TGE. Can't wait to see those. But in the meantime, Landseer, well, where does the name come from? You might think it's the big Landseer dog. No, I thought maybe it's Landseer, as in go and see the land. Seems an appropriate name for a campervan, but no, the name comes from Edwin Landseer, the famous artist, and that explains the deer-like logo. So this current model is based on the Tourneo Custom, the M1 passenger carrying version of Ford's new vehicle, not the N1 light commercial vehicle, the van. That means it gets the silver finish on the grille, gloss bits on the dashboard, but more importantly, it comes with Ford's assistance package developed specifically for the leisure market. It even gives you up to 5 nights in a 4-star hotel, should you be unlucky enough for your new Ford to break down. Hopefully that won't happen, and in any case this vehicle is type approved and registered as a motor caravan, not a van with windows. As I'm sure you've already guessed from the look of it, this is a premium campervan. It includes as standard the metallic paint, the alloy wheels, the reversing camera, the front and rear parking sensors are new this year. You get an extended range fuel tank and the wireless phone charging in the cab. Prices start at £77,900. That's with a 150 horsepower engine and manual gearbox. This one has the 170 horsepower engine and 8-speed automatic gearbox, as well as quite a list of other options, taking the price up to £89,274. Now, I can see the comments already. You'll be saying, yes, you can buy a much, much bigger motorhome for that money. But your much bigger motorhome will not drive in the same car-like style as this. You won't be replacing your family car with it, and you certainly won't be going into little supermarket car parks and town centres and parking as easily as you will with this. So some of the options, well, new this year is the driver assistance package at £1,530. That gives you adaptive cruise control, heated power folding door mirrors, the Sensico steering wheel, whatever that is, and the navigation centre. Then there's the 2.6 metre awning with LED lighting, that's £890. And then over here, there's a package of Brunner kit. You get the table, 2 chairs, cooking pans, the coffee pot, and tableware for £479. This roll-up fly screen for the sliding door is another option at £340. And then the fin on the back of the roof, well, that is for the 5G onboard Wi-Fi system, another £650 for that. Of course, the SCA top quality German pop top is standard equipment and colour keyed to match. When the roof's down, the vehicle is 2.1 metres high, a tad more if you go for the Wi-Fi. On top of the roof, there's a 240 watt solar panel as standard. If we take a quick look down the driver's side, the off side, well, you've got quite heavily tinted privacy glass in the back of the camper, and just these small opening sections, they pop out rather than sliding. Water tanks are underslung, both fresh and waste, and both are 40 litres. You've also got your mains hookup point here, and you'll notice I'm not hooked up because this is promoted as a gas-free off-grid campervan. So it comes as standard with a Clayton lithium system with a 100 amp hour lithium battery and a 2.5 kilowatt inverter. For £840 extra though, this one has been upgraded to the 160 amp hour lithium battery and 3 kilowatt inverter. At the back, the tailgate lifts to reveal a good area of storage. Now this is with the rear section of mattress folded down. If you lift that up, of course you've got full height storage, and of course the seat can come further back then, or it will go all the way forward. It's a Schnierle, a German sliding seat system that can be locked in any position anywhere along its rails. Now, you'll know if you watch the channel that this is a very important aspect of this type of campervan. The sliding seat gives extra versatility, but this boot area storage both above and below is so crucial because this is your biggest area of storage. Now, your Brunner outdoor table and chairs will go under here. You've got your ladder for the roof bed. You've got your awning winding handle, but you can get all sorts of outdoor gear in there. And then your bedding on the top level, ready for when you fold down the seat to make a bed. You also got a little cubby hole at the bottom here. External shower point, that's a £240 option. But this cupboard here, with the mattress down, you can't open it. Now, you have got your Clayton system in that cupboard, but there's still a good amount of storage in the top section, which you just can't get to unless this is folded up. Don't underestimate the usefulness of having a sliding seat system. With the seat all the way forward, you've got around 1.7 metres of boot space, practically back to a van. And if you've got young children, it's great to have the seat forward and be able to be close to mum and dad. Are we nearly there yet? This seat has 3 seat belts, 3 height adjustable head restraints, it has Isofix, but this fancy leather option with the Bentley style stitching is £2,600 extra. Then with the seat all the way back, well, you've got a huge amount of floor space, but now you've lost all your boot space. And the downside with these sliding seat systems is often when you have the seat where you want it, you can't get to some of the cupboards. Slide the seat where we had it earlier with the big boot, and this cupboard becomes redundant, which is a shame. Better if it had some sort of sliding or timber door so you could still get in there. The other thing to note is that this is a high back seat and you have cupboards above, so there's no through view. You have to rely on your door mirrors. If you want to solve that problem, a digital internal mirror is an £1,150 option, not fitted on this van. Now we've got the seat back in the camping position and you can see that blocked cupboard. But nevertheless, still a decent amount of storage. You've got these top lockers all the way around. You've got one kitchen drawer here. You've got cupboard for your porta potty, a couple of drop down doors, and I like the fact that the cupboards are illuminated. In fact, the whole quality of the unit with these oak worktops looks very, very nice. We've got a 42 litre compressor fridge. Perhaps my favourite feature, this little slide out pantry unit. Again, illuminated. You can have this gloss cream finish or a very attractive matte green alternative. But you should note, this toilet cupboard, well, it's raised above this vent, and that's because on this particular vehicle we have the Webasto thermotop system, which is diesel heating and hot water. It's a £1,445 option, but as standard you get a Webasto airtop system, which is just diesel heating. You don't get the hot water. Then the heater outlets are under the front seats, and that toilet cupboard is down at floor level, so your loo will slide out at floor level much more conveniently and you gain an extra drawer. I certainly wouldn't be paying £1,400 just to have hot water at the sink. So what about cooking? Well, as I said, this is a completely gas-free camper, so you have a Stirling induction hob, 2 rings, and you just turn on the AC to flick on the Clayton inverter down underneath the wardrobe here, and that gives you your mains power. Also gives you mains power without being hooked up at your 3-pin socket here. So I arrived about 21 hours ago. I've done cooking, a little bit of cooking, lighting, used various things. The TransCool, which will come on to in a second, and I think this morning it was down to 65% or something battery power. Now with the solar, we're back up to 92.9%. Still haven't hooked up, so you should be able to stay off grid for quite some time when the weather conditions are right. So this is the TransCool that I mentioned. It's an evaporative cooler. It's not air conditioning. You put water in here and plug it in and it blows cold air. It was 29 degrees here yesterday and very sticky in Southport, so I was grateful of this, but not for long because it is quite noisy. Stored it in this cupboard here, a sort of shelved wardrobe area. That's a good sized space, and there's a small drawer under the seat as well. Both cab seats swivel without opening the doors, and at meal times I really like this little coffee table, ideal for one. But I'm not at all keen on this freestanding tripod based table. Well, at least it stores conveniently in the door, but I won't be eating my pasta off this tonight. So before I talk about the nighttime arrangements, just a mention for this SCA roof. Now, I was very tempted to sleep in the roof bed last night because it was so hot, and you've got this lovely big fly screen, this panoramic front to the roof, but that doesn't give you a lot of privacy. Zip it up and, well, then all your ventilation's gone, and in the daytime it makes it a bit dark because the only window is a small one on the off side. That said, just pull the roof bed down. These nice big LED strips on the underside for plenty of illumination. And up here the bed is on Caraflex springs, and it's a good size. It's 1.98 metres long by 1.2 metres wide, or 6'6" by 3'11". And up here you've got reading lights that can also swivel round and be used for the cab seats. And the downstairs bed is almost as easy to make. Just flip over the base cushion, release a lever and drop the backrest down, and now you can simply unfurl your bedding to make the bed. Then, although the seat is only 1.09 metres wide, you've got this infill cushion at the side that makes up extra width on the bed. So it's 1.90 metres long by 1.28 metres wide. That's 6'3" by 4'2½". And there's plenty of room at the foot of the bed to get undressed and to access the fridge for a morning cuppa. The backrest is quite heavy to lift back into position, so if you haven't eaten all your spinach, do try that. And I would prefer the blinds to be the other way up, so you could open a crack at the top in the morning without giving away all your privacy. So, driving this Landseer Ford Tourneo, and in many ways this is the most important part of the whole test, because this is a vehicle that you're going to use as a car because it feels like a car. It really does drive well. You've got all the modern kit, things like lane assistance, stop, start, you've got LED headlights, you've got this 13-inch screen, the digital instruments as well with the trip computer and so on. It's got all the modern toys, if you like. Another thing I should say is these seats are extremely comfortable. They've got 2 armrests apiece. You can extend the squab cushion if you're longer in the leg, and you can tilt the base as well. So they're very, very good seats, and you've got adjustable lumbar support too. Another thing you'll notice is that it's very quiet. There's no rattles at all, and the engine noise is very quiet. This 170 horsepower engine, I mean, gives you plenty of performance, and with the 8-speed automatic gearbox, which is controlled on the column stalk here on the right, and it's just very easy to drive. I don't think anybody would grumble about driving this as an everyday car, although you should note that it is a little bit longer, a little bit wider than the old Transit Custom, or indeed the old Volkswagen Transporter 2.6 or 2.6.1. So time to sum up, and you'll notice before I do that if you've got anybody very tall travelling in the back, well, they may just struggle a tiny bit for headroom. I'm about 5'10", so that gives you a good indication. But this is a very nice campervan, as it should be, for nearly 90 grand. But they've gone down the gas-free, all-electric cooking route, which is always more expensive, and it's definitely a high-quality finish. And you don't have to have as many options as there are on this van. You could keep it down to around the 80 grand mark, at which point it's similar money to a Volkswagen California, albeit dearer than some of the other Ford campers on the market. But it does have a very nice look. It's not perfect, they never are. They need to sort out that table and maybe access to some of the cupboards when the seat is in this position. But other than that, there's a lot to like about this Landseer, and I can't wait to see what the company brings us next, because there's sure to be something quite interesting.